All right, so I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be 7.6. Okay, obviously this is just kind of a rough rundown of graphing inequalities because I imagine it's been a while since you did them. I assume with Miss Holloway at some point you graphed them.
Yes.
I just didn't see like what it is.
Is this like the ones where it's like the or in the end? No, I don't think.
I mean, kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
that is what this like principle is, but we're just, it's literally graphing a line and then graphing, shading it in the right area.
Were really
I remember
dumb,
that.
and when it said or, they just did one of the problems,
Oh yeah.
and I couldn't. Like,
He picked
yeah, he picked. When it said
That's
like x equals y like greater than or equal to like
or
4, and it said or another problem. He picked one of the problems to do.
All right, so just a little refresher for you, okay? If it is just less than or just greater than, okay, it is a dotted line that's going to be graphed, okay? If it is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's going to be a solid line. And then remember, if it is less than or equal to, we're going to shade below. If it's greater than or equal to, we're going to shade above. And we still need these in y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, we still need them in that form. Okay, obviously it's going to be less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, instead of equal. But just know that that's, okay, we still need it in that form. So I'm just going to start across this worksheet and just work across for that. So I'm just going to do that so that when I go back, I'll know what this is from. So starting with number 1, we've got 3x minus y is less than or equal to 7. All right, so I need to get this in y equals mx plus b form. So how would I get y by itself? Okay, I'm going to move the x over, so negative y is less than or equal to negative 3x plus 7. Now, this is the tricky part. When you're doing inequalities and you divide by a negative, what happens? You're going to flip the inequality. Okay, so I'm dividing by this negative. So it's going to be y is now greater than or equal to negative 3 divided by negative 1, so 3x. And then 7 divided by negative 1, so negative 7. Oh dear, what did I just do? That was a problem. There we go. I'm going to put some lines up here. All right, so let's see. All right, so I'm going to go down. Okay, you graph this the same way as you would a line. Okay, now notice this one is greater than or equal to, so am I going to be solid or dotted?
Solid.
Okay, so I even a lot of times like to go ahead and make a note because inevitably I draw it solid every time and then I have to go back and make little erase marks to make it dotted. It irritates me when I have to do that, but I do it like every time. But I find if I write what it is to the side, it kind of helps me. Okay, y is greater than or equal to. So what does that mean about my shading? Am I going to be shading above or below? Okay, I'm going to shade above. Okay, so I like to have all of that information there so that when I go to graph it, I just look over and I say, okay, my line is going to be solid. Okay, I'm going to shade above. Just makes my life a lot easier. So I'm going to go down to negative 7 and plot the y-intercept. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I've got a slope of 3, so that's up 3 over 1. Okay, and I refer back, it was solid. And I'm going to shade above it. So this is where I just use, okay, little highlighter. Okay, I do this if I do it on paper too. I get a highlighter and I shade it that way.
I just like,
Yes.
Yeah. When we get to where we're doing 2 inequalities on the same graph, I would recommend you either do something like lines going like, oh, that's, hold on, that's the highlighter still. I recommend you do something like some of them with the lines going this way and do a whole bunch of lines going like that, and then your other one, you do something that's like that. Sorry, I know the glare is really weird, but that will help you to see it. I mean, if you have a highlighter, at least for one of them, I would use the highlighter, because your solution is going to be where they overlap. So you're going to need to be able to see where they overlap, which is why I recommend a highlighter or some kind of like marker. And like I said, y'all are welcome to use whatever I have up here. I don't have like a surplus of highlighters, but I have a bunch of markers, so. Any questions about this one? All right, so then, let's see, 2, 6x minus y is less than 10. Okay, so again, I need to get y by itself, so I'm going to move the x over by subtracting. So negative y is less than negative 6x plus 10. I'm going to divide by the negative, so y is, I'm dividing by negative, so what do I need to do?
So you flip it.
Okay, I'm going to flip it, so it's going to be greater than 6x minus 10. Okay, now solid or dotted? Okay, it's dotted because it's just greater than.
And you shade out.
Okay, and I'm going to shade above. So then,
shade above. Not solid shade.
No, Joey, it's not how that works. Depends on the sign. Shade.
okay, so if it's greater than, you shade above. If it's less than, you shade below. And obviously the or equal to applies as well.
Please never say
Oh, it changed.
that.
All right, so I'm going to go down for a y-intercept of negative 10.
I looked okay.
Bro, that's the best show. I was
Back
watching
on
that
the
yesterday.
My God, this question.
All right, so y-intercept at negative 10, slope of 6, so up 6 over 1.
How do you know?
And it's dotted. Okay, so as you make your line,
Well, you said greater than is
Joey, if it's this way, if it's greater than, it's shade up. Am I saying it in your language country?
all right, if it's greater than, you shade above. If it's less than, you shade below. Okay?
okay.
Oh my God.
So in this case, it's shade above. So I'm going to shade, okay, and it's where the y values are above the line. So I'm going to shade all over here.
I always use like this side of my pencil when I shade because it makes it look more like normal.
Any questions about this one?
No. If we don't finish this, we do extra homework.
No. We're going to do the rest of it in class.
Oh, okay.
I like using this more to do the stuff in class, and then I give some of the problems out of here for. I just particularly like this worksheet, so that's why. And it makes it easier to like do the problems and stuff like that. So. All right, let's do one more for today, and then we'll go ahead and be done. All right, so 3, we've got y is less than or equal to 2x minus 8. So this one's already set up for us. We don't need to move anything. We just simply need to graph it. Okay, I am going to shade below because it's less than or equal to.
But that's what.
Yes,
I
Joey.
thought the alligator went like this way.
Joey.
Because it likes more.
Where are you from?
You know? That's why I learned it like.
No,
more.
okay, no, yeah.
Well, wherever the mouth is open is more. But we're saying y is less than or equal to, you read it left to right. So y is less than or equal to 2x minus
Oh,
8.
okay.
Okay, it's less than or equal to, so am I solid or dotted?
That's solid.
Solid.
I don't know.
All right, so y-intercept, -8. And I've got a slope of 2, so I'm up 2 over 1. Okay, we already said it's solid. All right, and we shade below. So again, it's where the y values are smaller. Okay, so shade below. So we're shading down here. Any questions about these?
No.
Okay. Stop this.